Bismillahirrahmanirrahim or praying together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have some who will be bring the topic for today is Ibu Mariana Dian Andriana. Hello, Ibu. How are you?
Hello, Nabila. Fine, thank you for your greeting.
Ibu, it's already for the present.
Yes, I'm ready.
Ibu, can maybe spill a little bit the content, what the content mean?
Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my presentations. First of all, let me thank you for all you coming here in our virtual class on virtual internships for John Mariano Marcos Memorial State University of Timsu in the Philippines. This is a collaboration program between University of Professor Hamka and Dimsu and LPDS, the institutions I work for. It is an honor to have the opportunity to address to distinguished audience here, and especially for the students from these two universities. I wishes you were in a health and happy so that we could enjoy this class together and students can get benefits on these programs. Nabila, I will presenting about a feature story, how to write, maybe also make a videos or taking pictures, photos for the stories. And this is not a general feature story, but will be focused on environmental issue. That is, I will present it. Thank you, Nabila.
All right, Ibu, thank you so much. It's it's interesting. I think all members can get a benefit more from the topic. All right, Ibu, if ready, I want say all member. How are you? All member internship. How are you today? All right, might be very busy. All right, let's start present topic for today. Ibu Mariana, the time is yours.
Thank you. I will correct. My name is Maria, not Mariana. Maria Andriana.
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's okay. You may call me Maria or Andri. And thank you for the screens. Okay, I will explain about the feature stories for you already, who already learned about feature story. Maybe this presentation will be refresh your memories, and if you not yet learned, maybe it will help you to get the point. What is the feature story? Okay, the next slide. Feature story is not.
Nabila, maybe you
okay.
Slideshow.
Yes, you made the slideshow for the presentation for the PPT, so we could see the file.
Yeah.
I see already. Can I continue?
Yes, please, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Bu Farida. The feature story is it's a journalistic work. It's not fiction. So this is like a news, but combined with the author's opinions, with the author's perspective, of course. And this is usually it's about the human. We should have a human interest in a feature story. So sometimes a feature story called a story about the people, because we wrote about what they're doing, what they like, what they want to know, etc. So this is more lighter compared with the straight news that we know already. Okay, the next slide. The next slide, please. Because this is a news feature story, so we should understand at first what is the news value. The news value is something that connected to many people, something new, and information that people should understand. So we know that people make a news. This is the commons. So because the feature story is about the people, so sometimes we find many profiles of the prominent people. A character's appeal or well-known figure is a fascinating object for the feature story. We can learn from, I mean, our audience can learn from those people. And of course, also the current and recent events that happen around us, it also will be interesting for our story, as well as society trends, what people doing right now, what they like it, what they want to do. This is also others people want to know. And don't forget about something unique, something that only happen or we have in certain places. Maybe other people from other places want to know as well. And also we understand about the closeness, proximity. So something that close to the audience, both physically or culturally. Like we are in Asian country, Philippines and Indonesia, maybe we have so many similar situations, similar culture. So sometimes we want to know each other. We interest to know. So this is also object that has news value. Thank you. We move to the next slide. Before we choose to write, we should thinking about our audience. Next slide, please. I'm sorry. Could you move to the next slide?
Nabila, next slide, Nabila.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Already moved to the next slide. In here.
Okay. The fourth. Think
Wait.
about your audience. Okay.
We still see the
So,
short slide. Maybe please you may stop screen and Pak Pak Kohar will have to share. Pak Kohar di-share aja Pak Kohar.
okay, I will continue at the fourth slides. So, yeah, we should thinking about our audience. Who are they? Where they live? It is a special community, maybe ages, or we will write for very wide demography or community. Because more specific your target, it will help you to set the tone of your article, and we can match with their needs. I mean, so be specific, be more focused and localize your story. It will be interesting. We don't need to have a story that has a global issues. Global issues is okay, but the target audience is must be more specific. It's easier to write and know your target. Okay, the next slide. We have so many types of feature story. Yeah, I mentioned before, profile is the number one. I mean, usually feature story is telling about the people, and there is a profile about the people, usually famous persons. We presenting their success story. so our audience can understand and maybe follow them as a role model. This is very common. You may try to write profile feature story. And then also there is a how to do stories. Nowadays we have a lot of lesson or learning from the articles how to do in many various objects such as parenting, maybe cooking, gardening, how to diet or how to be more healthy with your food, something like this. So people will learn that this is also very interesting object to write. I use a term of writing, but actually I will ask you to combine not only text, but maybe you can purchase video or photos for your story later. And we have also news features. Usually if we have news events, we just concentrate to write a main topic as a straight news, but we have many other information behind them that it also interesting to write. This is displaying the lighter side of the event, maybe. It can be separated from the straight news. And then also we usually read the historical events as a memories, and we provide the audience the knowledge about the past and should has connection with the present times. What we can learn, what audience can learn from the past. This is also common in news stories. And the interesting part is lifestyle and leisure. Nowadays, people want to know about other people doing for leisure and their lifestyle, like traveling, culinary, fashion, and as well as entertainment stories. Then I like to do the next experience stories. It's a live-in story. So if you want to write, you should join and live in this area, so you can see, you can hear, and you can even smell, get experience from the spot, and then you write it about them. This is also interesting. We will enjoy when we collect the information and we use all of our knowledge about them to write to the audience and show them what we experience. And then also we have obituary. This is a biography of famous people. Usually when they pass away, we should write about them, what they do in their life. Usually we have a famous person in various field, like a politician, maybe celebrities, artists, many people, others there. And also we have a review. We have a book review, movie review, music review, and if we have exhibition and performances. This is also, we can write a feature story on them. Okay, this is the types of feature story. Maybe you can find another types we can write also. Okay, the next slide, please. Now we try to learn how to pitch the story. If we know already what we have around us, and sometimes because it's too much, we confuse how to pitch one of them to be our story. So I suggest you to choose the topic when you have interest on that. So it's encouraged you to do more eagerly because you know the situation you know well, and you want to tell the other about what you know, what you understand about the object. So and then after you choose, investigate first how other people already work, already write, or doing the videos or photos about this subject. So you can add more new values, not the same one that others people already done. So you should have more something interesting and new, or something that left behind by others. So, and also determine your perspective, because a new story, feature story, always have author's perspective. What is your point of view? This is will make your story is a special, not the same with others. Be creative to be find this point of view. Let's move to the next. Okay, after this, we will continue with the environmental issue. So um, our program right now is about feature story on environmental issue. So after you understand what the subject you want to write, then start to write. Because if only ideas, maybe within 1 year or 10 years, you don't do your subject and you don't have any result. So start to write or start to produce your feature story. The feature story will contain headlines of the title. This is also a story by line, so you may put your names on that story. Sometimes we use our real name, sometimes we create a pen name. It's depend on you. And if you work in institutions, maybe your institution also will have guidance to put your name. But be ready, students. If you have a work of feature story, you will be famous, because if a text, you will have a byline story, and if you have a videos or films, you will have a credit title of your name. Okay, and then after you have a headlines, usually headlines is a maximum 10 words, because it should be not too long, so easier for your audience to understand what's your point. If you have a long sentences, it will be confusing. And if you think it's need more information, you can put it on sub headlines. Yeah. And then the second one is a lead or lady. You can grab the attentions of your audience with the first paragraphs, if this is the text. Videos and photo, you should have something for photos, because it's appear with the picture, so you can easily attract the audience also. And you should have a hook. This is a rhetorical or provocative words that's such as shocking facts to get the attention, more attention. Otherwise, people will just pass your work, because nowadays we have so many stories, so many information. So you should be creative to grab their attention. Okay. It is something like easier to say, but maybe when you start to write, you should put more energy to have it. If straight news, we usually has a who, 5W, who, when, where, what, why, and how to do. Yeah. But in a feature story, sometimes we will put the lead with others. Some like maybe you quote quotation, use quotation, poems, even songs could be your lead. So this is more easier. But don't forget your first intention is to grab the attention from your audience. Okay, this is I have a Stephen King quotation. The best writers hook their readers with voice, not just action. So the voice is mean your point of view. Okay, we continue to the next slide. Next slide is about creative headlines. How to write a creative headlines. So it's different with the straight news. For the headlines, we should have more softer, yeah, not straightly sentences. Like next slide, please. I have the example from for the headlines. Excuse me. Yes, thank you. Yeah, this is some example. So the first I will read. A girl makes a fortune selling food from the area. So this is soft, not hard like a hard news or slate news. Yeah. And the second, maybe students share an apartment, saving money and happy together. This is telling about how the students facing their housing problems with sharing the room for their apartment. They can saving money, but they're happy together. And then the secret to a healthy and stunting-free life. This we use the word secret. This is like a hook, so people want to know what the secrets for stunting-free life in the poor area, because usually in a poor area, the stunting issue is so high. But why this place is stunting-free life? People want to know. And also we can put the numbers if the number is essential and fascinating. Like this example, a poor boy adopted 100 street cat in Newtown. This is only fictional title headlines. If a poor boy, maybe they have he has difficulties to his own life, but this boy adopted 100 street cats. 100 street cat. It means he has to maintain this 100 cat. So this is just an example. You may create your own headlines later, and then don't forget to be creative. Move to the next slide. We have nutcrackers. What is nutcrackers? This is your promise to the readers. Justify your story. Why your readers should read and care. Why those audience should continue watching your videos. So you should have something that make them doesn't want to move from your story. Yeah. And if is the text, this is a transition from the lead to connect to the rest of the story. So you should have something that they will know how to your story will go, something like that. Don't forget about this. Okay, next slide. Yeah. Now we have a writing style. There is so many writing style, but in a feature story, it's a lighter than hard news. So you should make a story like a storytelling. Yeah. In comparison with straight news, we will use a more narrative sentences. And if you describe something, this is for the text. If you describe something, use an appropriate descriptions as clear as to the audience to explain to them because they don't see directly what you mean. This is for the text. But for the videos and pictures, show it to them what you want to tell. So don't forget. Sometimes the videos may be stuck on this on the other spots, but the text or the narrations already move. This is also should be smoothly. You arrange the text and narration and the videos. Okay, and then put sentences interspersed with quotes from your sources. This is to make your audience believe that you have your sources, the person who telling you about the object. So especially if you interview and your sources share their experiences for your audience. So you must combine these three: narrations, descriptions, and quotation. So your story will be lively to write and to read. I mean, thank you. And we move to uh, the other part, wrap up and closing your story. Usually the new writers will confuse how to close their story because they don't know how to close. I have that experience too when I was young. How to close the story, I confused, and this is the I suggest you to make a one paragraph only, wrap up your ideas about the story, and then you close. There is many style to close. Maybe just like a flashback, you write down again with different sentences, of course, not exactly the same. And what your hope from your story. This is became a good closing statements. Okay, next slide. We already finished wrap up and closing. Sir or ma'am, who operate the screen? Okay, this is I already tell you. Give a brief summary and closing statement before concluding the article. Next slide. Okay. Now we will move. This I already finished presenting what about the future story in just a short presentation, and now we will continue to environmental concern. So we know that environmental issue is important for us because we live in one planet and we facing so many issues like a global warming, uh, exploded populations, healthcare services, food security, and also housing. So for this class, I will invite you to concentrate to the three topics of environmental issues, which is the advantage of eating locally. This is the first, and the second, the problem with settlement and housing, and the third is health issue in our community. That is okay. Why we choose these topics? Because it is close to us. We have experiencing of these three topics, and for students maybe also will easy to get the information, to collect the information, and decide it which topic you will do with your work, creating a new stories. Okay, we move to the next, how to choose a topic. So we will see again what's the news value. First, you should know that your topic has a news value. What is the news value? We already discussed at the beginning, so you can see again. And where is your interest? This is important, as I mentioned before. If you interest in this subject, so you will eager to do your work. And what is your point of view? This is important. So, and then don't forget when you choose the topic, don't forget to understand how you can be sure to get your material for your work. It is easy for you to visit some other places, maybe, or just choose area which is close to you. And can you able to reach it on time? I understand we only have maybe 30 minutes for you to do the text later. So maybe from now you're just thinking what you want to write, what you want to do for your feature story. And do not hesitate to choose a simple topic, because as I mentioned also before, more simple is more easier and more achievable for you to get the story. So you should create a smart planning, specific and simple for us, measurable. You can do, you know how to do, and achievable because you already know how to collect the information, how to do your work, and you will sure that you can achieve the task. And then also timely, the time is perfect, correct for you to
How to choose a topic.
topic. So be sure to make it specific and small, close, or close scope. This is how you choose the topic. And then this is only an example, details of 3 selected topics. First, local food. It's about local food. What the benefit for us to eating local food? This is we can choose in your area. What is the famous food or seasonal famous food? What the advantages if you're eating local food? You will see this is fresh, and this is health because it's fresh, tastes good, and it's also economic because you don't need to pay for the transportation. It's compared with if you choose the food from other area, even imported food, you must pay the transportation for the food. And of course, this is environmental friendly because you will reduce transportation. Yeah. So consider this benefit of local food for your pocket, for your healthy and your environment. And
Assalamualaikum.
second, we know the topics of housing problems is not only how to provide our settlement, but also the healthy environmental around our area, our housing area. Maybe the sanitation, maybe the pollution we facing and on that area. Like I give you the sample of headlines today, how the student smartly living together, sharing the rooms to economize paying the rooms, rent room. And so you may choose many various of the housing problem. And the third is about health problems around you. What are the health problems that many people facing as experiences? How is the health services system in your area? Can people get easily, or how do they struggle to have it? The details, you may choose one of them, be specific and has a good point of view. Next, so this is come to your text before we continue with question and answer. Your text is, sorry, yeah, move to the next slide. Next slide, please. You may choose your topics and decided which one you want to do, writing or videos or photo. And sorry, before that, maybe it's good for you to do it in group, not personally each of you, but you may create groups, maybe content with three person in one group, because it's easier maybe for you to do together. And the last programs, at the end of the programs, we will ask you to presenting your work. Maybe you will have another task from other session, so it's not too long to wait. Everybody should presenting their task. So better you create your own group. Just report to us how many groups and who's belong to which group, and which you choose to write or to do the pictures or video. And it's not too long. Maybe the video is only 2 or 3 minutes. For pictures, better for 3 or 5 series of photographs. And for the article, it's around 500 to 750 words. And that's you should do. You will have 30-minute free times this afternoon to collect the information, and we will ask you to presenting your work at the final stage. I think that is all I can share to you. I have my email address on the next slides with my short CV. You may write my email address if you want to contact me directly. But if you want any question, we will give you the opportunity to raise your question. Thank you. This is my presentation. I hope you understand what I mean. And I'm sorry if I have a mistake words. Thank you, Nabila. It's back to you now.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Ma'am Maria, for the interesting presentation. For me personally, I think this is really interesting because personally, for me, making feature story is harder than make like a hard news or straight news. So because you have to choose the right words and the beautiful words for the feature story. So yeah, ma'am. Is that true? I think making feature stories harder. It's harder than make a new hard news. Okay. So yeah, for the participants who have questions, because you already have a test from Ma'am Maria to do the make a feature story and the vlog and photograph as well. So yeah, if you are confusing about that, feel free to ask Miss Maria right now, and you can drop the question in the chat box or just raise your hand and ask the question. Thank you. Okay.
There's no one. I think everybody already understands.
Okay, yeah, there is one, Nabila, okay, from
Okay.
Uhamka. Okay, so please, the question, Nabila.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Mrs. and Mr. Lecturer, and all of friends who joined this internship. For Mrs. Maria, I want to ask about, is there any change of made feature content for, like example, like for a charity event or making a content for a charity events, so we can touch the individual for join the event with the feature content, like in example for humanity or environment issues. Thank you, Mrs. Maria.
I should answer right now or waiting for another question?
Yeah, probably before while we waiting for the next question, you can answer the question from Nabila. Yeah.
Thank you. You have the same name then, Nabila.
Yeah, we were.
Okay. Yeah, I will answer the Nabila question. This is a good question also. Of course, you can make a feature content for your charity event. This is actually will combine my next lecturer next week. I think I will have a PR, cyber PR. So you can create your content and publish. Then how you can invite your audience to join the event? Is it like that? So absolutely, you can do this. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer, Mrs. Maria. It's
Yeah.
so helpful for my charity event.
Yeah. What kind of charity event? It's from your school or your
I want to make
organization?
for my community from K-pop K-popers community in Jakarta.
Yeah. I'm sure you will have big fans of K-pop. Yeah.
Thank you, Mrs.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Nabil, for the question, and Ma'am Maria for the answer. So yeah, once again, for the participants, if you have questions, you might raise your hand first or just drop the question on the chat box. Feel free to ask Ma'am Maria right now.
Or maybe a student from DIMSU will create the group. How to create the groups? Who will have to create the groups? And which group will choose which topics?
Okay, maybe yeah, from the MMCU University, maybe you have questions for the task, maybe from participants from DIMSU.
Or are you doesn't understand what I say?
No, it's clear. It's clear for me, ma'am. I can understand.
Okay, thank you. So in these programs, from today, we will have different lecturers, and will deliver different topics. And then at the final day, every lecturer will have a task. And on the final day, as I understand the schedule, we'll ask students to present their work. So this is the first task from me, to create a feature story. You may have written stories or videos, vlogs, just short one, and also a series of photographs. With that, three topics, I already choose three topics. Easier for you to choose, because otherwise, if it's only a global environmental issue, this is too wide. Maybe it's difficult for you to choose. That's why I choose already only three topics. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's the task, everyone, for all the participants. So yeah, if you have like confused on your mind, once again, feel free to ask Ma'am Maria for the task.
Yeah. Dear participants from DIMSU, who is the student coordinator here for this internship? Maybe Miss Samantha or Miss Tricia, or who else? Maybe you make some groups for the assignments from Ibu or Mem Maria.
Yeah, okay. Like Miss Farida said, for okay. Okay, there is a questions from Agnes here, Ma'am Maria, in the chat box. The question is, why feature articles are necessary? Okay, that's the question from Angela Mary. Yeah, Ma'am Maria.
Could you repeat the question?
Okay, the question is, why feature articles are necessary?
Okay. Yeah, thank you. It's a good question. Why it's necessary? Yeah. Sometimes people boring to read the straight news because it's only telling facts straightly. But feature story, it's a lighter, and it's also has a subject that various how interesting matters. So it's like a entertained audience with the stories. People around the world like storytelling. So this is how people want to know more leisure reading or enjoying the documentary films without boring with the news like a straight news. That is my answer, Nabila.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, thank you very much, Ma'am Maria, for the answer. Maybe Angela Mary, you have a follow-up question for Ma'am Maria? Or your questions, maybe? Okay, if not, we have another question from the participant for Dimsu. Yeah, the question is, what do you think is an age of feature writing to any types of writing like news? What makes it easier? What makes it more difficult? Difficult. Yeah, that's what do you?
Thank you for the question. Yeah, this is because in feature story, we'll choose, like Nabila already mentioned also, we choose a beautiful word with how we write is not strict sentences, but we make it softer, so easy to read, easy to enjoy. That's why the feature story will be easy to understand and easy to follow, and people will like it. But the straight news is just strict who doing what, when, where, and how, and why, something like this. But the story is like it's like you will enjoy the story like you read a short story, fictional short story, but this is not fictional. This is a real. We have the facts, something like that. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, so Arya from Dimsu, that's the answer. So yeah, maybe for a writing feature, even though that feature is soft news, but we actually have to the data, yeah, ma'am, like the data.
Yes, of course. Yeah, of course, because this is not fictional, so you should have accurate data and also information. The features has opinions of the authors, of the writers, but you should have a strong argument for your point of view or your opinion, and you should prove your opinion with the facts. So it's not like a fictional story that you just your imagination, but you should have accurate data and information to prove your opinion, something like that.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am, for the answer. So yeah, Arya from Dimsu, Aira from Dimsu, sorry. So yeah, that's the answer. Maybe if you have a follow-up question, you can ask again for Ma'am Maria. So yeah, we have another question here from Anggita Titiana. So the question is, what's a conflict that we have to avoid when we write feature content?
Okay, thank you. What a conflict. Yeah. The more we have a conflict or the more we have a drama, usually people more enjoy to read. Yeah. But we should be careful. Don't provoke your audience to be involved in the conflict. But if you have a conflict, we just put both sides, all sides. I mean, this side with this side what they say, and with their perspective. So doing naturally, let the audience understand what the situation. Don't judge. Don't give a judgment by yourself, but let the audience knowing what happened, what the voice of from this side and this side equally. That is you should do. Don't make wars with being in one side, supporting one side. This is you should avoid it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ma'am Maria. So we have to do like both side, like like a news, like a hard news, yeah. So yeah, we have to make a pause. So yeah. Okay, thank you. So yeah, there's another question from participant for Team Su. Okay, so the question is, how will you feature? Oh, sorry. Okay, how will you feature a sad or devastating or negative topic? Is it even ethical or advisable to do so? I think the question is, yeah, if we write negative topic, is it even ethical or advisable to do so? Maybe that's the question, man.
Yeah. I always say that when you choose a topic and you want to write something that is not good, but your point of view should be something that encourage people to correct the situation, the worst situations. So you should have a promote something that good for people. That is the benefit of you become a writer. You don't follow the situation like suggest maybe willing in the school. If you have this conflict, how students willing others, the facts in the straight news will be just concentrate to what happened, why people doing this. But for future story, we should have a point of view. We can the community can avoid this by doing something. We can export this to give their opinions, and we will write and quote what they say to give a good perspective for that issue. So we should have something benefit to the others to be more good situation. Maybe it's difficult for me to say, but what I mean is we should have something move forward, not following the bad situation. Thank you. I hope you get what I mean.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ma'am Maria. So yeah, for participant for them who asked the question, maybe if you have a follow-up question, again you can ask Miss Maria again after this. Okay, so there is another question from a participant from Team Su. The question is, what are the major differences between news and news feature? They usually look very similar, which makes them hard to tell apart. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I already explained. So, straight news is just telling what happened, the facts only. But news story will combine with the author's opinions, perspective. So, but the perspective or opinions should be proved by the data or information. That is the difference. Um, and features usually more timeless, yeah? And people can enjoy maybe in 1 week or 2 weeks, but the news is only couple hours already. No, this is couple hours because we have following news. If we have an event or something happen in the morning, maybe in the noon, we already have another new information that is the following news until maybe the next day. But we will have a round up information as a feature story, yeah, and put the perspective of the media or the writers. That is the difference.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for the answer. Yeah, another question. It's from Agnes from Kohamka. So the question is, okay, I wanna ask you a question about how to make environmental news related to natural disaster, especially with interesting headlines but not excessive. Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, of course, our natural disaster always connected with environmental issues. Um, if straight news, you will report what happened, what the kinds of natural disaster. But for the story, maybe you can write about how people suffer from the disaster, how people volunteering to help others people in this disaster area. So it's different between hard news and feature story. So of course you can write many profile people from this area or the situations or how we improve the situation, something like this. Yeah. Thank you, Nabila. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, ma'am, for the answer.
Mhm.
So yeah, Agnes, if you have a follow-up question again, so please ask Ma'am Maria. Another question from
Mhm.
Ahna. Okay, okay, good morning, ma'am. In the caste society, don't know about words related to environment such as conservation, or green energy, or AMDAL. How do journalists writing feature articles about the environment easy to understand? Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, yeah. How to write easy to understand. First, don't use a difficult terminology. So if you know your target audience, use the language that they're familiar with. So just a simple word, but try to have a correct meaning and has a good also because the feature story should written in a leisurely and more soft. So you choose the word. If you should put terminology, explain it to your audience. So it's difficult because sometimes technically terms is not many people will understand. So you should translate it to your own languages that will understanding by your audience. That is the answer.
Yeah, okay, thank you, ma'am, for the answer. So yeah, maybe the point is we have to choose a simple word for the
Yes, of course. Exactly.
yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Simple word and explanation. Later, you can use the terms, technically term, but before at the first you mention it, you should explain.
Explanation. Okay. Um. Yeah. Again. Maybe from the chat box there's no question again, but yeah, feel free to ask Ma'am Maria for the yeah. If you have a question for Ma'am Maria, again, you can may raise your hand first or drop the question in the chat box. Okay. Yeah. Any participants who want asking Miss Maria again? Because we have, I think, more minutes for the question and answer session.
Is the assignment is clear for the students?
Oh
I
yeah.
hope I can get more your words. So Nabila, could you help explain again? The students should have a
Yeah.
grouping working group and then they choose the topics. They can use the models of writing or vlogs or serial photos and then presenting at the final scene.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's the test, everyone. I hope all the participants can understand. So yeah, you have to make a future, of course, and choose the topics out of three topics that Ma'am Maria already give to you. And don't forget to make a vlog or a series of photography, at least 5 photo to photography to support the article you make. And you can make it with a group, so you can make a group maybe from UHAMKA itself and DIMSU itself. So yeah, like that. Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, I mean, they can choose to produce only an article or
Oh,
vlogs
okay.
or photo series.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah,
Choose
you
one.
can just either photos, a vlog, or the article, the picture. Yeah. Okay, I hope everyone understand that. Yeah, all the participants, if you have questions, again, feel free to ask right now.
Is there any other question?
Yeah, so yeah, for all the participants once again, maybe because we have a few minutes left, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's already clear. If already clear, I just want to say thank you for all the participants and also thank you for good questions that I have right now. And I hope all the participants will get the points to do the assignments. This is the part of our internship programs. We already arranged, set up the schedules, syllabus, and we looking forward to have your work at the finals days.
Okay, yeah. Okay. But all the participants, again, if you have questions more, you can ask Ma'am Maria, and maybe Ma'am, you can tell us like if we want to make like that either feature, either photo or vlog, maybe where the where the right place to see like the example of that. So yeah, the reference where we can where we can search up the reference.
Yeah, we have so many websites on environmental news. You can just type on Googling. You can find many. You can choose. Don't forget the basic of journalism basics. So you should have your sources, names, quotations, places, data, information you need, and all the news element you should have, but you do it in features, so it's more soft and interesting. We have many example. Just Google, use Google tools. You can find many example of environmental news story. But I hope you write from your own area. So maybe the how your community doing your waste management, facing pollutions, also housing, healthcare, and local food. This this is a trend on now. People around the world asking we eating more locally because it's also friendly for our environmentals, especially for greenhouses emissions. It's just small cases in your area, but has a global impact. Maybe become a global example, a good example, good learning from your area. Who knows? Just try and watch your area and find. I don't understand in La Union. What do you have? I never been there. I just in Manila in the past also. So I don't understand what the situation in your area.
Okay, so yeah, maybe we can start the from our area. Yeah, ma'am. So yeah, from
Yeah,
near
yeah.
us, around near us. Okay.
From
So
your area and learning from the global issues, what they have, and you just combine and learn. Is there any question I saw in
yeah,
chatting box?
yeah, there's a
One
question.
writing.
That popped into the chat box from Dimsu, the participant from Dimsu, Philippines. The question is, what are the limitations in writing feature articles about certain topics? When do we know that the information we will write is excessive or lacking for that matter? That's the question.
Limitation? I don't know the limitation. Just you just talk to the people uh, who understand the situation. If you visit, this is because you're a student. This assignment is not like we ask a journalist to do the features stories. So you may use a person in your area to be your sources, but don't use imagination. Yeah, you should meet with people and ask question, raise the question to them, and then you heard. Usually, when we choose the topic, we have the assumptions. We we already have something inside our head, but the reporter should ask people on the spot what and you may prove what your opinion is the same with the situation or not, and raise your question and get the answer, follow the answer, and you can get what you want and then write about it. Please do reporting. Don't use imagination. This is the basic task of a journalist. Yeah, because we should work based on the fact. So this is not imagination. So that's why I ask you setting a groups, just work together, maybe around the campus, around your housing area. You may find maybe just a food stall. You meet with people in the food stall where they enjoy their food stall, their food. and what they serve, what they do. Street food will be good. You may see the documentary about street food in Netflix. Many we can find. Just your imagination to choose the topic and doing by yourself. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am, for the answer, and for the participant from DIMSU. Thank you for the question. Okay.
I know one prominent environmental journalist in Philippines, but I forget. She's not from Manila. She's something other city. Her name is Imelda Abanyo. You may Google her name, Imelda Abanyo, and maybe you can follow her blog. Maybe she's friends of mine.
Okay. So yeah, the participant from Philippines, maybe you can search that person, Googling that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Participant from UHAMKA, you have many issues, yeah, in this topic. So I am sure you will eagerly to write your stories.
Yeah, that's true. We can easily get the topics about that. Okay, maybe there's no questions. Participants, if you have questions. Yeah, okay, maybe maybe there's no questions left, ma'am. Once again, personally, I really thank you for the knowledge that you gave to us, because it's really interesting and very important, maybe for us to write the futures articles and become a journalist in the future. Thank you very much. So yeah, I think that's the end of our session today. Maybe Ma'am Maria, if you have a closing statement for all the participants here, you can give to us the closing statement.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I know the student is not all of you from communication, but I see from agriculture and others. Yeah. But this tag is simple, I think. Just try to do the features story. I hope you will enjoy, because telling the story is a nature for us. We just doing like you tell your experience to others person in front of you. Don't make it so seriously. We will enjoy your story. So just Nabila, could you pass my presentation screen to the Jimsu, so they will.
Ma'am. Okay.
They can read again.
Okay, yeah, I will. Yeah, maybe we can pass the PowerPoint material that you make to the participant from DIMSU, ma'am. Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Maria, for the amazing presentation. May we give a big virtual applause to Ma'am Maria for the presentation for the topics today. So for all the participants, maybe that's the end of our session today. Once again, don't forget about the task that Ma'am Maria gave to you, and you have to present the result of your work at the end of the internship. So thank you very much, Ma'am Maria, once again, and all the lecturer, the mentor from DIMSU and UHAMKA, also the participants. I apologize if me and Okta, if we have a mistake while we moderate and emceeing this event. We have a mistake. We were sorry. And yeah, thank you very much. Have a great day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Terima kasih Ibu Maria. Thank you all.
Ya,
Thank you, Ibu
Waalaikumsalam.
Maria.
Ma'am.
Terima kasih.
And
Bu.
remember to all participants that you have to make some groups to do the assignments from Ibu Maria, and don't forget to present your final project on our last day of internship on 29th of July, on the next Friday. So maybe from now you may discuss with your groups how or what topic or what maybe interesting topic you will present on the next week. Yeah. Thank you, Nabila.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Maria.
Yeah,
Thank you
for all.
all dear participants from Indonesia and the Philippines, from UHAMKA and the DMMSU. See you tomorrow and have a great day, and don't forget to prepare your final assignments.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ma'am Farida. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Nabila. And
Ya, ya Ibu. Terima kasih. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.